So I was sound asleep at 12:30 and didn't wake up until 6. Not bad, huh? And I don't want to be officially awake for the day. I'm hoping I can fall back to sleep. Hope Miss C doesn't think I've abandoned her. As far as I know, she used to periodically call my mom. She has my mom's number. If Miss C wants to reach me, she can always reach me on my mom's number. I postponed, I haven't put money on my cell phone. So Selena doesn't give one flying fuck about the content of my videos, and that's pretty awesome. I never have to worry about her saying, oh, you should do this in your video, you shouldn't do that, whatnot. Karen believes I shouldn't create the sexier videos that only appeal to certain fans of mine. But Karen respects boundaries. She's going to say what she has to say. She's not going to say it in a snide or rude way, as Trouble has done. And that's it. Even in the, out of the blue, because I've been doing it for a long time, Trouble just had to, rudely say, must you always mention the status of Omar's poop, blah, blah, blah. I know you won't do it, you're going to go off in a bit, but geez, Laura, it's like something a 3-year-old would say, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I know you're gonna, but really, it makes me feel sorry for you, and it certainly gives your enemies more fodder. And remember, this is just out of the blue. She says this, okay? It certainly gives your enemies more fodder to work with. God, did that comment speak volumes about her? Especially in this certainly gives your enemies more fodder to work with. If I created my videos based on what my enemies would think, my videos would consistently be so stifled and boring and whatnot that nobody would watch my channel, And I pointed shit out to her, and of course she's going to negate what I said. And then what I pointed out was the truth, that I can't please everybody. I pointed this out, and she as usual labeled what I wrote a rant or irrelevant or whatever the fuck she always used to do. That pissed me off, that I was pissed off to no end, but I smothered it down. Who the fuck does she think she is? It's my channel. Even when I've made apologies for this or that, or Selena's like, what are you apologizing for? People don't have to watch. It's a free fucking channel. No one's forcing anyone to watch, and no one has to pay to watch you. Selena can't believe the degree to which some of these men have gone out of their way to just rip me to shreds. But again, remember, Stoney Jenkins went above and beyond. He has repeatedly tricked me into thinking that he liked me. And meanwhile, he couldn't stand me. And that's like I said, that's gonna negatively affect any future relationships I have in real life. wasn't irrational, irrelevant to point out that, to say that it gives my enemies fodder. My enemies don't need fodder. Number one, my videos are not going to appeal to everybody, okay? Okay? Trouble did, miraculously, but I'm sure I know what she was thinking. She kept her mouth shut regarding any of my, the videos where I talked about, because she knew better, where I talked about sex or danced around or whatnot. She never commented on them either. But she kept her mouth shut, as she should. You calling yourself my friend doesn't mean you get to dictate the content of my videos. No. And she would say to me, everything is not, you don't have to feel like you're attacked. Well, I do. Anybody would, out of the blue. Must you always discuss this was her exact words, must you always discuss Omar's poo-poo pee-pee? Really, Laura, I know you're going to say, do what you want, but come on, it's like something a 3-year-old would say, and really it makes me feel sorry for you, and it's certainly, blah, blah, oh my God, and that's not an attack. To her, it's not an attack. Just like she later said regarding, when the Stony Colin Phil thing came to light and whatnot, and saying that basically in so many words that I was too stupid to see what she saw and others saw all along or whatever, and she didn't use the word stupid, doesn't matter. It was implied, and then brand new Parker Armstrong, who was come to find out was also Stony, I said, ouch. No ouch involved. It wasn't meant as a slam or an insult. It's the truth, but it is a slam or an insult, you fucking cunt. What was it meant? Oh, because you could say whatever you want in the name of your truth to your friends? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Unbelievable. Speaking of Selena, she taught me a while back. I called her one time, probably because my phone wasn't charged, or my cell phone wasn't charged. I called her on the home phone, and she's like, someone could, if you block your number, someone could. I thought that blocking a number was foolproof. She's like, no, if somebody wants to find out a blocked number, they can call their phone company and insist on having that number. I'm like, oh my God. Thanks, boo. I didn't know that one. It didn't matter with her, but it could matter with a personal ad guy, But then Selena was going further, and I did some investigation, and no one agrees with Selena, but doesn't mean she's not right. She was going even further and saying that even a regular cell phone, if somebody wants to, they can track you on it. And I'm like, but I don't even, I'm not associated with this address, which I think is probably a good thing in my case. But a home phone, of course, would be associated with this address. It's in my mom's name. Oh. I don't know, people. This world's scary nowadays. Back years ago, it wasn't here. It was in L.A. I know it wasn't here. I haven't gotten involved, really, in Craigslist here. Except when I was trying to arrange to get, halfway decent looking guy to give me a massage that I would pay him for. But I believe it was back in LA when I was getting more actively involved in Craigslist, and this guy was like exhibiting such paranoia. But Craigslist, I believe, starts off as Craigslist, as in you don't know the real email address of the person, but then if you write back, it winds up being the regular email address. Bottom line is, nowadays, mine doesn't, because I made sure it didn't. Tons of people's email addresses have their real name. this guy, Foot Guy, I have his email address, I have his real name. I did plug his, not before I met him before, but recently, I plugged his name into Facebook just to see, and didn't see any, But would I ever use that site that's talking about where you could find out about? No. To me, that's Pandora's box. No, I wouldn't use it. But no one could use it on me, not just via my stupid email address, because it doesn't say my real name. This guy who just wrote to me yesterday, it has his real name. I'm not plugging his fucking name into anything. I won't do that. I won't. I know lots of people have no qualms about doing that. I'm not going to do it. But I do find it interesting that something is innocent. These people write to you via their email address and it's their real name. Oh. Did I tell you I slept 12:30 straight to 6 o'clock and then got up to go to the bathroom? I don't want to be up for the day. I'm trying to make myself sleepy. No, I just thought I'd point that out. Trouble never said anything about my sexual, content of my videos or whatnot. But who knows what she was thinking? She probably just knew better. Not to say that she certainly put her 2 cents in about everything else. And it was silly to, so it certainly gives your enemies more fodder. I know what I am not an idiot, and I know the things that she was labeling as irrelevant, irrational response to her, the Queen's comments, And that in of itself is a friggin', a lot of people wouldn't like that. You're gonna label as irrational, irrelevant, like I'm some fucking idiot. Things I was pointing out that when she called my comments irrational, irrelevant, were extremely rational. She just wants her comment to stand on its own and for me to bow down to it and not say a word. That was her secret agenda. Stupid bitch. Remember, I put up with this regarding her attitude. I put up with her attitude regarding every fucking little aspect of my existence that she clearly found lacking. And then look what she did to me in the very end. Because she inexplicably hurt me in the very end. Now I'm back to trusting none of you at all. Except for those handful who have completely earned my trust. Tony Jenkins has gradually morphed more and more into another false alarmist. He's holding the torch now when it comes to ripping me apart. Now that I no longer read a single comment posted by false alarmist. Tony Gank is just bad news because he's deceitful. He's even apologized to me on more than one occasion, even recently, even last week. And he's back to ripping me apart. His apologies don't mean shit. His declaration that for the sake of his karma he wants to start. I don't despise you, Laura. In fact, I've been thinking I shouldn't treat you so badly, and it's not good for my karma. And believe it or not, I really am a nice, cool, laid-back guy in real life. Almost too nice for my own good, and there's no way I can in my mind, there's no way I can't think of the fucking word, it's early in the morning, but it's not correlate, maybe it is correlate, those two, they don't compute, they don't go together. How viciously he's tricked me and treated me, etc. That does not correlate to he's a really nice guy, almost too nice for his own good. No way. There's no fucking way I would ever believe that in a million years. I'm sure none of you would believe it either. None of you who are even my pseudo-friends, none of you would believe, based on how he's treated me over these months, fucked with me, tricked me, etc., and then just recently he apologized, he's already back to ripping me apart. He's leaning more and more to being exactly like another false alarmist. And obviously that's going to sting because, particularly his last character, was really, really tricked me. But like I said, this person, that guy seems very sincere, very nice. Told him I'm about 10 to 15 pounds heavier than it was when those pictures were snapped. I said, unfortunately, I'm 10 to 15. He's like, what's so unfortunate about 10 to 15 pounds? Okay, good. Check mark, good guy, to say something like that. He didn't freak out over the foot guy story. Where I made sure to point out the truth, number one, foot guy didn't hurt me, but he scared the shit out of me, and he just shouldn't have done that. Number two, I told him up front that sex was off the table, Didn't mean sex was off the table permanently, but as I joked with this guy, the weight, if you do hope to eventually sleep with a woman, the way to make that happen is not to, pull out an Ouija board and then later joke in quotations about how you could get away with murdering her. Basically, I wanted the guy to know up front that I was very, very nervous about meeting anybody. Justifiably nervous. And didn't turn him off, so maybe I'll wind up meeting him or something, who knows. in a public place for drinks or coffee or whatever. I don't know. Sunday night, I had yet another fascinating conversation with my buddy, friend of over 20 years. It's a long time to remain part of somebody's life. He believes some interesting things. I want to stress before I say these things, I have not a clue. I even said, are you sure about that? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I said, well, time will tell. I don't negate anybody. Doesn't mean I believe that he's right, but I'm right in saying time will tell. Eventually, time will tell whether his predictions come true. He believes Hillary's going to be indicted and wind up in jail. The Republicans are going to out Trump, not have him as their candidate. Trump's going to run independently and win and become our president, unless someone decides to murder Trump and assassinate Trump. Interesting, huh? I've already told you the type of, the people that this friend of mine listens to. Why aren't you saying his name? Because I don't feel like it. I don't have to. I don't have to do anything. So he didn't pull all this shit out of his ass, but it doesn't mean he's right. Doesn't mean he's right about the Anunnaki running the show behind the scenes either. Or the shadow government, all this crap, and aliens, alien races, and stuff, whatever, all the stuff that is just too overwhelming for me. But it probably is the truth. The fact we're here means anything's possible. I was chatting back and forth with this cool guy under a video talking about how they're mixing the DNA of animals and humans. I don't particularly think that's a good idea to do, and I fear what's going on, but this guy was saying all this stuff about shadow government and aliens and stuff, whatever, and he claims to have worked in the secret part of the government, stuff, whatever. And I said, wow, you sounded just like my good friend on the New Police show. I didn't negate him either. I'm sure a lot of people were reading, if they bothered to read his long comments, were just negating it as hogwash. I don't know. Told you what my friend said to me last time I visited him this 3+ months. I only tell you, if I told you all of what I know, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night, Laura. I only tell you 5%, and that's enough. Yeah. And I only tell my mom like 0.001%. No. My mom and I watched The Big Short the other day in the afternoon, so she wouldn't fall asleep. I'm going to watch the movie again with subtitles. Did I understand every aspect of it? No, but I got the gist. Without ruining the movie, I would periodically pause it to see if she was getting the gist, and she was. I I gave my 2 cents. I also told her, I didn't even know any of this was going on, but it happened, like, when I was in hell with Donald, and this was 2008, the end of 2008. And I remember being super aware of it happening. But that's probably because, in the end, the banks knew they could get away with doing all of that. The government bailed them all out. Our economy didn't collapse because the government bailed them all out, and the taxpayer, when the government bails out the banks for doing evil, and the government bails them out, and, it's sick. It's all sick. That's why they say everyone should watch that movie. It's all corrupt. It's all sick, and I plan to carefully watch the fucking movie again. But I got it, and it's sick, and when the government bailed out these banks, it's really the taxpayers bailing out these banks, It's implied, right stated in The Big Short, that the banks did it all on purpose. They saw it, they knew it, and didn't care, and because they knew they'd be bailed out. It's sick. Sick, sick, sick on multiple levels. I didn't think my mom would want to watch it. I said you can watch it if you want. You can watch it, or if you don't want to watch it, you can go lie down in your bed, because those are the only two choices. If I watch this up in the living room, you can either sit in the living room and watch it, or go in your bedroom. I told her it's an important movie. I told her it relates to all the kind of stuff that Joe and I talk on the phone. Sometimes my mom will say, like, what do you and Joe talk about? I'm like, oh God, Mom, I couldn't begin to explain to you what Joe and I talk about for hours upon hours. Stoney Jenkins, Snidely, you don't know how to be a true friend. Bullshit. That's such bullshit. Tired of him. Tired of him fucking with me. Even when he was fake putting himself down as my online buddy Justin, I was trying to lift him up to the heavens. So that's the act of a friend. I do know how to be a good friend. Tired of him. Tired of these assholes making out there's so many really bad people in this world. It's just on the news, not that this is as bad as like murder or rape and all that, but this woman set up a GoFundMe account for this family's dead daughter. She'd been friends with the family and friends with this woman who died of a drug overdose. She'd been friends for a long time. She set up a GoFundMe account that online that earned over $5,000, and she stole all the money. But the parents, they suspected something was going on when she kept giving excuses about, and then they wound up reporting her to the police, and she got caught, for deception, but theft by deception. She's going to appear in court, There's so many worse people on this planet than me. I'm tired of Stoney and his posse and all of them making me out to be some kind of monster. I'm sick of it. My mom loves having me here, and she feels fortunate that I am here. And I know I improve her quality of life. And certain men, I will appeal to certain men because I have no agenda. No agenda. I'm not looking for, marriage or anything like that. I don't have children. I'm not looking for a guy to take care of me or my non-existent children. Basically, just trying to take baby steps. It's important for me to be around people other than my mom. Even going out with Auntie and my mom. I didn't fake. I wasn't miserable and faking that I was having fun. I actually was having fun because I'm able to do that. I'm able to be in the moment and have fun. And I could do that with any guy I meet too, It's just, I go back to being depressed and anxious and miserable, but I can turn it off for brief periods of time. I have that ability. I'm going to go back to bed now. Stoney puts words in my mouth. Stoney assumed that the guy I had collaborated with on one song of mine, that I didn't care much for the lyrics, and I didn't care much for the guy and his voice and his music, but he was very, very nice, and he was an older guy, a lot older than me. I was 19. He assumed that was Joe. Don't know where he got that from. He assumed that was Joe. Recently, he's putting words. I outright said or implied. I would never even think that, ever. Never would I think that my channel's the only one that Stoney watches, whatnot. I don't even know why people who can't stand me, why they waste so much of their precious free time. Stoney says he works full time. Stoney says he lives with a woman and his longtime girlfriend, and they're madly in love, and etc., etc. Someone like him, I don't know why he feels the need to just constantly tear down and rip apart someone like me. I don't understand it. But I laugh at anyone like him. He calls himself a really good guy and nicer than he's too nice for someone good and this, that, whatever. I don't believe it for a second. I don't buy into that for 1 second. It's impossible.